If you're interested in making games, it might help to draw some ideas first. I'm going to build a ramp using a rectangle. I'm going to take a paper and fold it over before I cut it. Remember, when you make a fold, it's helpful to press hard so that you have a nice line to know where you're cutting. And my thumb is on top. I now have my rectangle. I'm going to fold my rectangle over, not halfway, just a little bit, and I'm going to cut a half circle. Because I cut on the fold, when I open it, it creates a hole. And now I'm going to flatten that and fold at the top to make my ramp stand. It's a bit flimsy, so I'm going to go near the bottom and fold back. This almost makes a little triangle shape, like a piece of cheese. And when you look at it from the side, it pops up. To make it stick, I'm going to fold over a little tab and I'm going to add some glue. If you don't have glue, you can try just hooking it over the edge and it should hold for a little while. After I add my glue, I'm going to hold it for a few seconds, and I think I needed some color. If you're going to color your paper, it's a lot easier to color it before you cut it out and turn it into a 3D object. And now, it's like a piece of cheese. It stands up, and it's a ramp. So I'm going to take a piece of paper and crush it up to make a little paper ball. Now I'm just working at my desk. You can use the paper ball to roll, or you can try to flick, but I would put it a little bit further away from you than I did. Otherwise, it's a little too easy. Now I'm going to try to make a goalpost. And to do this, I'm going to get a new paper and I'm going to draw it out. As I'm drawing it out, I'm thinking about making it wide enough that at least 2 fingers can fit in. If you make the bottom part really flimsy, it might fall over. So now I'm ready to cut it out. And remember that you want to turn the paper instead of your scissors. See how I rotate the paper? And I'm cutting carefully to make sure I don't cut my goalpost in half. And now I want to make it stand. I'm going to try using the L braces. I'm going to cut some rectangles and I'll fold them in half to make the letter L. See the L? And now I'm going to glue it. And I made 2 so that I can glue one to the other side to help make it stand. While I was doing this, when I went to test it out, the paper that I used to make the L braces was too flimsy. So even though I thought it would work, it didn't. And I needed to come up with a new plan because I want my goalpost to stand up. So I'm going to take another paper, but just in case you have really flimsy paper too, here's what I did. I rolled up another piece of thin paper as a roll. It's too big for my goalpost, so I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller. And remember that rolls are really strong. I am going to roll it so that it fits around my goalpost. And that means I need to add glue while it's wrapped around my goalpost. Be patient with yourself if you don't get it the first time. I didn't get it the first time. And you need to hold it for a few seconds to give the glue a chance to stick. And now, it stands up on its own. Maybe I didn't need the L braces after all. With the goalpost, you could try throwing some small paper, or you can take scraps and fold them over to make a triangle football. Here's how you might make a triangle football. You want to create triangles and then keep rolling into another triangle. I used a strange scrap from making my goalpost, and I just kept wrapping it around to make a triangle football. And I'm going to take that little flap on the end, add some glue, and fold it over. If you've ever seen somebody play paper football, you hold it up with one finger and you can flick it with the bottom finger. But you can see Miss Cozy is not so great at that. You may also help. Oh, I knocked down my goalpost. It may also help if you move your goalpost further away. Or you can use a crushed up paper ball. For my third game, I drew out a big flower and then I folded it in half so that I could cut out a half circle and unfold it and it becomes a circle. Because some people don't have glue or tape, I'm going to use the slot and notch. I use 2 rectangles with a small slot, and you can see the small notches that I make on my flower. I'm going to slide them together, and I made 2 because this object is bigger. 1 would probably not be enough. This is what it looks like from the bottom. And now it can stand up. I noticed that the slot and notches were starting to fold together, and that when I threw a paper target at it, it fell over. So I tried this trick of folding the rectangle notches back, and it was really strong. It even held up when the paper ball hit the target without going in. Remember that you can also make lots of folded tents, and you can build with that paper, which is a fun activity if you don't have glue. How tall can you make a tower? I'm putting my tents on the side and then putting a small paper in between to keep building layers. At some point the tower is going to get wobbly and fall over, but I managed to make it taller than my glue stick. I'm now going to take these tents, and you can also make targets. I have a Hot Wheels car. I also have a ball and some small toys. If you wanted to, you could make a target setup and you could add points. Now again, Miss Cozy is working at a desk. It would probably be more fun if you move these further away so that there's some challenge to knocking them over. But you can use a Hot Wheels car, you could use a ball, you could create some paper balls, or you can get some small toys. Remember that if you're tossing something, you don't want it to be an object that could hurt you or another person. If you wanted to, you could also give the targets points. I'm going to give the pink one 100 and this little purple one 10. It's a bit silly that the big target is worth more points. The frog will take them anyway. I'd like to see what games you come up with. Have fun!